Let me start with a situation that's probably going to feel uncomfortable. You make decent money, not rich, but not struggling either. You pay your bills on time. You have a car that works. You can afford vacations as long as you plan ahead. And from the outside, it looks like you're doing everything right. But somehow, every month still feels tight. You're not falling behind, but you're also not getting ahead. And deep down, there's this quiet fear that if anything goes wrong, a job loss, a medical bill, a bad year, everything would unravel faster than it should. If that feels familiar, this video is for you because that feeling has a name and almost no one talks about it. My name is Jerry, and I spend way too much time thinking about the middle class trap no one talks about. If you're someone who earns a solid income, does most of the right things with money, but still feels financially fragile or stuck, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing. The middle class trap isn't about being irresponsible. It's not about laziness. And it's definitely not about bad with money. It's about how the system quietly rewards just enough progress to keep you comfortable, while making real financial freedom incredibly difficult. To challenging the common belief, we're taught a simple formula: get a good job, earn more over time, and eventually money problems go away. But look around. Median household income in the US is around $75,000. And yet, according to the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans would struggle to cover a $400 emergency without borrowing or selling something. That's not poverty. That's the middle class. And that's where the trap begins. What the middle class trap actually is. The middle class trap is what happens when higher income comes bundled with higher fixed obligations. Not luxuries, not reckless spending, obligations. Here's what most people don't realize. As your income rises, your life doesn't just get better, it gets heavier. More responsibilities, more contracts, more things you can't easily undo. The math behind the trap. Let's walk through a realistic example. Say you earn $60,000 a year. Over time, you do well. You get raises, promotions, maybe switch jobs. Now you earn $90,000. That sounds like a massive upgrade. But look at what usually happens alongside it. Rent or mortgage goes up by $500 per month. Car payment increases by $300 per month. Childcare, insurance, subscriptions, and quality of life spending adds another $400 per month. That's $1,200 per month. Over 1 year, that's $14,400. Over 10 years, $144,000. This is where it gets really interesting. Most of that money doesn't feel optional. It feels required to maintain the life you worked for. Why this doesn't feel like a mistake now, you might be thinking, yeah, but that's just life. That's normal. And you're right. That's why it's so dangerous. The middle class trap doesn't announce itself as a problem. It shows up as, we need a safer neighborhood. This car is more reliable. This saves us time. We deserve a little comfort now. Each decision makes sense in isolation, but together they quietly eliminate flexibility. The psychology behind it. Here's the psychological piece most advice ignores. Humans adapt incredibly fast. Your brain recalibrates normal within months. So the raise that once felt life-changing becomes invisible. and the upgraded lifestyle becomes baseline. This is called hedonic adaptation, and behavioral economists have studied it for decades. It's why happiness spikes briefly after income increases, then returns to baseline. But expenses? They don't revert. They stay. The trap isn't spending. It's fragility. The real issue isn't how much you spend. It's how locked in you are. Middle-class households often have high income, high fixed costs, low margin for error, which creates a fragile financial structure. You're one disruption away from stress, and that's exhausting. A simple analogy. Think of it like driving a car at highway speed with just enough fuel to reach the next exit. You're not in danger right now, but there's no room for detours, no flexibility, no mistakes. That's the middle-class trap. Why hard work alone doesn't fix this? Here's another uncomfortable truth. Working harder often deepens the trap because higher income usually leads to higher commitments, not freedom. This is why so many people making six figures still feel anxious about money. They didn't fail. They just upgraded into a more expensive version of stress. What actually breaks the trap? This isn't about cutting out coffee, and it's not about extreme frugality. It's about margin. Margin is the gap between what you earn and what you must spend. And most people focus on income when they should be protecting margin. 3 actionable steps you can use immediately. 1. Audit fixed costs, not variable ones. Stop obsessing over groceries and small purchases. Instead, look at housing, transportation, insurance, subscriptions you forgot were permanent. These are the costs that quietly own your future. 2. Delay lifestyle upgrades by 12 months. Here's a powerful rule. Every time your income increases, wait 1 full year before upgrading anything major. If you still want it after 12 months, fine. But most of the time, the urge fades and the margin stays. 3. Build boring freedom. First emergency funds aren't exciting, but they buy time. Time is the only thing that actually reduces financial anxiety. Not income, not status. Time. The big takeaway. The middle-class trap isn't about failure. It's about success. Without strategy, you did what you were told. You worked hard. You leveled up. But no one explained that comfort can quietly replace progress. Once you see that, everything changes. Look, you don't need to escape the middle class. You just need to stop letting it trap you. Progress isn't about earning more. It's about keeping flexibility as your life improves. If this video helped you see money differently, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you want more calm, honest explanations about money without hype or nonsense. And ask yourself tonight, where has comfort quietly replaced margin in my life? Because once you protect margin, progress finally feels real again.